The Japanese man that's so good at doing nothing, people hire him to do it. A company offers workers masturbation breaks. And a Mercedes-Benz factory closed after a leopard invasion. These are the weird stories for Monday on Weird AF News, the only daily weird news podcast hosted by a comedian. I'm Jonesy. I'm happy to be here. Hope you had a nice weekend. Let's do some weird stories from around the world, shall we? The Japanese man so good at doing nothing, he's made quite a nice living at it. Before moving out of Tokyo for her new job, Akari Shirai wanted to eat at the favorite restaurant that she used to visit with her then-husband. There was only one issue. She didn't want to be flooded with thoughts about her divorce by going to that restaurant alone, but she didn't feel like inviting a friend and explaining the situation either. I used to come here with Ted. You know how it is. So what did she do? Well, she rented Japan's do-nothing guy. It's a guy in Japan who does nothing. It's unbelievable business. Their near-silent lunch lasted about 45 minutes. Shirai ordered her favorite dish, and intermittently she asked questions. She shared memories of her marriage and showed him a photo from the wedding. He nodded and gave some short answers, sometimes a dry laugh. He never initiated conversation. He doesn't have to. He's the guy that does nothing. He's not required to do anything. He didn't even have to answer her questions. He didn't have to laugh. He didn't have to eat anything either. Sounds like a nice guy. This is exactly what she wanted. Here's a quote from her. It felt like I was with someone, but at the same time felt like I wasn't with anyone, since he existed in a way where I didn't have to be attentive of his needs or think about him at all. I felt no awkwardness or pressure to speak at all. It may have been the first time I've eaten in complete silence. Well, it sounds like you found your soulmate, Shirai. Want somebody who just shuts the hell up for once. For years, there's been a cottage industry in Japan and South Korea of renting strangers to impersonate friends, family members, or other acquaintances as a way to save face at social functions where plus ones are always expected. I've covered some stories about this, or at least one that I can remember, where you can rent somebody to attend an event for you, with you. It says here, over the past 4 years, Shoji Morimoto, age 38, has been a cult following. He's built himself a large following by offering himself as a warm body who can simply be there for you, liberating his clients from the social expectations of the spoken and unspoken norms of Japanese society. Morimoto is nicknamed Rental-san, incorporating an honorific, and Morimoto has inspired a television series and 3 books and has drawn international attention through his viral social media posts. I've never heard of this television series. This sounds like it might be good to watch. It'd be such a great comedy. A show about a guy that does nothing, is rented out to do nothing, all the adventures he might get involved in. Morimoto's gigs have run the whole gamut. He waited at the finish line of a marathon for a client who wanted to see a familiar face at the end of the race. Someone hired him to sit with them while they finished their thesis because they might slack off working alone. He listens to healthcare workers describe the mental health toll of the pandemic. You're wondering, what does Morimoto charge to do nothing for you? Well, he charges 10,000 yen per session, also known as 120 New Zealand bucks, also known as, I still have no idea how much he's charging in USD. He's most frequently hired to accompany people who are at a turning point in their life, who want to rewrite traumatic memories or experience a vulnerable moment they feel uncomfortable sharing with friends or family. He'll just be there. He'll be there with no judgment and away from your personal space as well. One woman hired him to accompany her as she filed her divorce papers. He once sat with a client for a hemorrhoid surgery. Someone hired him for a dramatic farewell as they boarded a bullet train to move from Tokyo to Osaka. He showed up and waved goodbye. I could have hired this guy to be there when I got my vasectomy. I had nobody. Could have used some support. Some Balzac support. Morimoto often finds that his clients don't want to burden people they care about with these needs. Here's a quote from him. I think when people are feeling vulnerable or are in their intimate moments, they become more sensitive towards people that are close to them, like how they will be perceived or the kind of actions they will take for them. So I think they want to just reach out to a stranger without any strings attached whatsoever. This rent-a-stranger business has a handful of other people with similar shticks, like a guy who gets hired to be treated to meals, and a self-professed ugly man who claims to boost others' self-esteem. Would you guys like to hire an ugly guy as your sidekick? You'll always look good. Morimoto has cornered his niche market of doing nothing for cash, and many people now hire him for the novelty. Another quote from Morimoto. I was often told that I wasn't doing enough, or that I wasn't doing anything. So this became a complex for me. I decided to take advantage of this and turn it into a business. Mr. Morimoto hesitates to make too many assumptions about why his business model has gained viral fame. He said he has learned not to judge others and to have empathy for people who may be going through deep personal challenges but aren't showing it. Well, this is a win-win for everybody. This guy gets to get paid to do nothing, something he's amazing at, and people get that feeling of support from someone who can just shut the hell up for once. I could never do this job because I cannot be quiet. I just always have questions, something to say. I have an opinion to express. I'll start complaining right on the spot about something. I'm just going to complain. Maybe I could hire myself out as a complainer. You want to hang out with someone and listen to them complain a little bit? I'm your guy, man. There's a lot of stuff in the world that really irks me. I could do it. I'll charge 10,000 yen. I don't know how much that is. Hopefully it's enough for some gasoline. Yay! A company offers their employees masturbation breaks. The adult website Strip Chat is offering a new perk to the employees. Masturbation breaks during working hours, complete with custom-built wank pods and VR headsets. Oh, I need to see what this wank pod looks like. Oh, it's pretty big. Looks comfy. Got a VR headset, too. Wow, they're trying to give you the ultimate masturbation experience. The company Strip Chat is an adult website, as you can imagine. Also a social network. It currently employs 200 people. They have 4 high-tech wank pods. That's a lot of wank pods, man. 4 people at the same time wanking in a pod in your workspace? That's a little weird. The wank pods are located at the company's Cyprus office. These pods are equipped with an Oculus Quest VR headset and 4K LED screen in order to watch X-rated films on the masturbation breaks. Wow, they give you virtual reality headsets in there. In addition to the high-tech features, the large black spherical pods will have a comfy chair, lotion, lube, and all the tissues that you need. But what about the employee that has to clean these wank pods? What about this person? You got to pay them a lot, man. This is a terrible job. Strip Chat is offering its employees 30-minute breaks to use the masturbation pods and says that it wants to, quote, provide current and attract new employees with a safe, comfortable space to rub one out. Yeah, you'll attract people. Imagine that job interview. Yeah, so what are some of the perks you have here at Strip Chat, huh? Do you got like free coffee, I'd imagine? Or are you like Facebook and you got like beer taps right there so you can just pour a beer and sit down at your desk and get drunk while working? Oh, we go one better than that at Strip Chat. We let you have a nice wank in the middle of the day if you feel like it. Look right over there. 4 wank pods, complete with the ultimate wank technology. Oh boy, sign me up. Now, it says here in the article, as well as offering their own employees the wank pods, Strip Chat is offering other companies wank pods. Yes, you can lease out the wank pods, $50,000 for 6 months. Or you can just rent a porta potty for $10,000 for 6 months. Save a little money. Hey, guys, go wank it in the porta potty. Now, I know it's not sexy, but it gets the job done. Now, if you lease out their wank pods, you also get a VIP subscription to the Strip Chat platform. What the hell is Strip Chat? Well, whatever they do, you know it's pretty randy, baby. They're not the only company to offer masturbation breaks. Last year, Erica Lust, producer, writer, and director of Erica Lust Films, began offering employees masturbation breaks every day in the office after saying that they became agitated during the pandemic lockdown. I actually covered that story. Now, to help normalize masturbation for her 36 employees, Lust set up what she called a masturbation station in the office. And unfortunately, it was see-through. Just kidding. Now, after the implementation of the private masturbation station at the Erica Lust offices, the employees reported being happy about the new break, and one even stated that it helped relieve stress. Here's a quote from the head of communications at Lust Company. A masturbation break at work can result in more focus from your employees, less aggression, and more productivity and better teamwork. Yeah, I find after a little release like that, you're definitely less stressed. I think Will Smith needed to wank before that ceremony last night, but yeah, it provides a nice even keel temper after a good wank, wouldn't you say? But I can't see other companies adopting this. It's a little extreme. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think your workplace would benefit by having a wank pod? Call the show, 646-450-2012. I mean, why not provide the pod if we're just going to go do it in our car on the lunch break anyways? Just me? Only me? You like podcasts? You're listening to my podcast. Maybe you thought to yourself, I'd like to make a podcast. Too difficult. No, not with Anchor. Anchor has free creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast from your phone or your computer. Anchor distributes your podcast to Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, and more. They have advertising integration, so you can even make a little money off your podcast. Everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. And good luck with your podcast. Good luck with your creation. Good luck with your life, man. A Mercedes-Benz factory closes after a Leopard invasion. Now, you guys might know that car production plants across the globe are being forced to halt operations temporarily for a few reasons. The most common reason as of late has been the shortage of semiconductors because of the supply chain crisis. Crucial components are not getting to the factory and they're not getting into the vehicles. Now, this is a very frustrating situation. It's now requiring customers to pay more for their cars and wait a little longer for their desired cars. Also, it's not helpful when the cargo ship that's carrying your car just sort of catches on fire in the middle of the ocean and sinks. I don't know if you guys saw that story, but a whole boatload of Porsches just totally sank in the middle of the ocean. So those people didn't get their cars or had to wait a little longer. And the supply chain crisis doesn't seem to be slowing down. Now, over in India, things are a little bit more complicated with the auto industry. Now, there's a Mercedes-Benz facility that's located in a place called Chakan, which is near Pune, Maharashtra. I think I pronounced that correctly on the first go-round. Let me pat myself on the back. Good job, Jonesy. Well, this facility is responsible for producing such cars as the Mercedes-Benz S-Class. You guys know the one. I own 6 of these bad boys. No, I don't. I drive a 2010 Honda. Yeah. Anyways, this facility was subjected to closure. A whole day had to be closed because a 3-year-old male Leopard snuck into the manufacturing section of the Mercedes-Benz plant. My goodness. Now, you know, there's a lot of work hazards out there, and it's hard to get the job done. How are you going to put a bumper on a Mercedes S-Class if there's a leopard breathing down your neck? Tell me that, huh? These people aren't paid enough for that sort of activity. That's a lot of pressure. Got to keep looking over your shoulder, make sure a leopard doesn't pounce on you when you're trying to put a door on. What if the leopard jumps through the sunroof and then bites your elbow off? This could happen. Leopards are known to do such things, not so much in car facilities, but in the wild. And of course, this is the sort of fallout when you put a facility in a rural area, because there's wildlife out there. Depending on what country you might be in, you might have a flavor of wildlife that's a little distasteful, a little dangerous, a little deadly even. And I don't know what your insurance is like over there, but I'd imagine it probably doesn't have leopard coverage. Now, I don't really work in a facility, but I do work inside a closet. And let me tell you something. If a bat snuck in here, I don't know if I could keep recording. I don't know how I would react. I think I'd have to shut down the studio until someone came in and removed the bat. I'd have to call bat removal services, just as this factory no doubt had to call a local leopard removal guy to come in and make things safe again. Now, I can say that one time I was recording this podcast inside this closet and a mosquito got in here. And that was terrifying. It was very hard to concentrate. I'm just trying to keep you abreast of the sort of work hazards that I got going on over here. You think it's all fun and games in the closet? Well, you know what? It can get a little dicey. Join the Patreon. Hey, what's up, weirdos? I'm glad you joined me, and I hope you had a nice weekend. Hope you enjoyed the Florida Friday episode, and thanks to everybody who sent me articles. And thanks to all the replies I got and shout-outs over hitting 2 million downloads. That was really humbling, and I'm so appreciative. If you're not aware, I made the announcement on Friday that I hit 2 million downloads for Weird AF News. It's pretty cool, and I'm pretty proud of it. And I thanked all my listeners because basically, you know, you guys did this more so than me. You guys come every day and listen to Weird AF News. You push those numbers up. You tell people about it. You share it. And, I mean, I wouldn't be able to do it without you, and I'm so grateful. I got a lot of messages about it. I want to give thanks to Stephen Clark. Stephen Clark wrote me. He's from Coventry, which is in the center of England. And he wrote, congratulations on 2 million downloads. And he called me a cockwomble. I'm not sure what a cockwomble is, but it sounds lovely. I think it means upstanding citizen. Would you say? Cockwomble? Upstanding citizen, right? Anyways, thanks to Steve and everybody who wrote me some sort of congratulatory emails and DMs and whatnot. I heard from people on Instagram. My Instagram's @FunnyJones. A bunch of people on Twitter shouted me out @FunnyJones. So really, really cool. I'm so grateful. It makes me feel very good. I had a great weekend because of this. I really did. I kept getting hit up with messages that made me feel like, hey, maybe what I'm doing is appreciated. And, just, that's really nice to feel that way. Outside of everything else, it just feels good to be able to provide something that people find some value in. I've tried a lot of things in my life, between music and acting and stand-up comedy. Played a lot of sports as well, and no one seemed to enjoy what I was doing until I did this. So it's pretty cool. So I appreciate it. If you guys would like to support the show, you could tell somebody about Weird AF News. Why not? Just tell, hey, this podcast is pretty cool. Guy records in a closet, and he hit 2 million downloads in a damn closet. Isn't that amazing? I mean, it's kind of miraculous on some level. And so that's pretty cool. You can also join the Patreon. That's a way to support the show. Patreon.com/WeirdAFNews. I posted a very fascinating article in there this morning that I thought it was really, really cool. Something I kind of knew about, but didn't have the details of. I like to do that. I read a lot of weird stuff, and some of it doesn't seem appropriate for the podcast, so I'll put it in there. This was one of those instances. Something weird from history, So, you guys want to check that out? Join the Patreon, patreon.com/WeirdAFNews, or go to weirdafnews.com. I will see you tomorrow on Tuesday, and thanks again. Appreciate y'all.